We all love good and bad rangers, mainly more bad rangers, evil rangers, whatever you want to call them. We saw this with Tommy as he came into Mighty Morphing and literally just destroyed the entire team when he was put under Rita's spell. But I believe that when you see this sort of thing after so many good rangers, seeing a bad ranger, evil ranger, whatever you want to call it, is actually a really good thing. So I generally really like it when we see an evil ranger step in out of nowhere and actually beat the team so badly that they have to rethink. They're not just the same thing where it's defeating them straight away. So I kind of really wanted to talk about this, see what sort of kind of insights I had and share them with you. Now let's get the main thing out of the way. Simon Bennett has turned around and said that Hasbro do not like evil rangers, or if there are evil rangers, that they get turned good straight away near the end of the episode, etc, etc, and we can't have long-term evil rangers, which is a bit of a shame, to be fair, because we all love them. And the fact is that you have so many interesting storylines to kind of go around with each one, which I think would be kind of a unique thing to have if we had one every so often, not like every single year. I feel like it's interesting and important to the storyline at times to have this sort of like ranger that can keep them on their toes. Now, in Don Brothers, the Matsumane ranger, who's basically the sword, will come in at random times and attack the rangers or attack whoever because they are told to do so. So I kind of see this and think, oh, but could you imagine like the rangers are fighting normally and then all of a sudden, boom, here they come, like here comes an evil ranger just fighting them out the blue, which makes it 10 times more interesting. Matsumane just comes in, he's not really in it for long, but when he is, you kind of pay attention because he will attack pretty much anyone that he's told to. I see rangers fighting rangers a good way because it kind of adds more excitement. We saw it again with Tommy, as I said earlier at the beginning of this video, but one of the main ones that I really remember is Trent. Trent would come in at random times, beat the Rangers, steal their powers, do whatever he could to do to win. And just seeing that sort of thing happen really makes the entire series interesting, to the point where I kind of root for the bad ranger at times, because we normally just see the rangers always win, always kind of win the fight, and it just gets kind of boring. So seeing one of their own literally just whale them is fantastic. And I love the fact that Trent is one of my favorite White Rangers, but when he's evil and literally could just solo the entire team, he even encased Tommy in amber, which again, you didn't really kind of see coming, but I just generally loved that whole thing of like, oh shit, is Trent gonna turn up? The Rangers are doing so well, and then Trent's out of nowhere, light arrows, sending them across, and actually just beating the crap out of them. I think the main thing when you look at bad rangers, evil rangers and stuff like that is the fact that it keeps the audience on their toes. As I said, when Trent was in Dino Thunder, you didn't really know what kind of things would happen when he came along. And when you kind of look at it as like, what angle does this ranger have? Are they doing it for themselves? Are they doing it for other people? Or are they under a spell? Like, just having that kind of, oh crap, like they could be around the corner, they could be in this episode, they could be not be in the episode, but then it makes the kind of rangers wonder at the same time, because as I said, they're fighting their hearts out, they're fighting the bad guys, and then suddenly another version of themselves or another ranger just comes out of nowhere and like blindsides them, attacks them, does whatever. And when you kind of add this in, if we were back to like doing it like one a week or something like that, it's that anticipation that builds up. Who's going to turn up today? Is it just going to be someone calling the Rangers out? Is it going to be a monster attack? What is going on? Same thing as like with Tommy back in Mighty Morphing. Like, it only happened for like, I think 6 episodes or something. But you thought, oh crap, what's going to happen? Or the Rangers just would be fighting, and then out of nowhere, Tommy comes up and he's like, I'm going to take you down. And like, even with Ninja Storm, going off script, even with Ninja Storm, when you saw the Thunder Rangers, like, they really did make an impact. And when you have these Rangers kind of really impact certain things, you kind of think, oh shit, this is actually something that is out of the blue. It's dangerous. I'm loving this. I want to see more. And I feel like that kind of builds up the audience loving that Ranger. And the Thunder Rangers, Tommy, Trent, these are all Rangers that people love. So having a good and bad Ranger is a well balanced. You don't have to do it all the time, but different seasons you could say, oh, well, in Cosmic Fury, this Ranger's gonna come back, or this Ranger's gonna do it. Or in the reboot that you'll have the main Rangers, and then all of a sudden this other Ranger just doesn't care and wants to attack. When you have this lead up, it's just perfect. It gives you more in-depth storylines to why that Ranger is evil, why are they fighting, and even if they're not put under a spell, if they're thinking, oh, well, I'm going to fight for what I think is right, then that kind of adds in more storytelling that can flush out characters. And effectively, you could add more episodes in that you didn't really kind of think of and go, right, well, in this episode, we're going to find out while Ranger A is evil, why is Ranger B wanting to fight the Rangers and what kind of makes them tick, and you analyze how the Rangers were. Trent literally annihilated the Rangers. He knew what to do. He could take their powers all the time, and yet it made you go, okay, I'm paying attention. I'm watching this. And he had a cool suit. Have you ever noticed that the evil Rangers or the bad Rangers always have better suits than most? It's one of the things I look at and go, oh, hot darn on that one. But yeah, it just adds more storyline, more depth to the character, more of a redemption. If they get turned good later on, they have to fight for their team to make them think, okay, well, yeah, you have to be good for a reason, etc., etc. So I kind of think when I see this, I just generally want to see more evil Rangers, and I think maybe the Ranger Nation would like to see from. I know some people won't, but some people would, and I feel like that gives more of the audience what they want and at least something to talk about. Hell, can you imagine if they made one of the Rangers evil in Cosmic Fury or the next season, and it was just copious amounts of videos talking about it, analyzing in depth, talking everything about it? I would wholeheartedly love that. I know with Simon saying that Hasbro don't like that and we won't get this, and that's kind of really disheartening, because I feel like if you want to grow and actually kind of make people pay attention, some of these storylines, some of these things that you can do with the Rangers would do really, really well, and it makes people go, shit, I kind of really want to watch this. I know that if you had a threat going on all the time, I would want to watch the show a bit more. And again, flushes out more episodes. So it's kind of a shame that Hasbro wouldn't allow this. And the fact is they're saying, no, you can't have evil Rangers. No, you can't have things like if they're under a spell, they have to be broken in a set amount of time or by the end of the episode. But I would love to see a Ranger come in halfway through the season or very at the beginning, wail the Rangers completely, destroy them, and then come back and be like, oh shit, sorry guys, under a spell. I think it just adds more to the in-depth storyline and it makes things easier. Everyone loves a good evil Ranger. The suits, as I said, are amazing. The storylines can be actually decent, and it kind of adds more to it than most things. But that's just my kind of thoughts. Would you like to see more evil Rangers? Would you like to see, good Rangers turned evil or bad? What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you later.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。